It's a great pleasure for me to welcome on stage Don Lee, who is the ambassador of culture and tourism of the city of Shenzhen.
Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Why so serious? Le français among second langue étrangère? On parle français? I speak a little bit French. My name is Don Lee, but I tried, so you can see my sincerity, right? I love coming to Switzerland. It's a great, great privilege. Now, I'd like to begin my formal presentation by asking you a question. Have you been to Shenzhen? Have you been to Shenzhen? Yes, you've been to Shenzhen. If you've been to Shenzhen, would you please raise your hand for me? Fantastic. Some of you. I mean, earlier this year, I saw a gentleman that looked like you eating sauerkraut and barbecue in Longgang. Was that you, Martin?
Yes.
So if you can use one word to describe Shenzhen, what would that be? One word.
Amazing.
Amazing, great. Young, yes, good. Any other keywords? Innovation, great. Dynamism, okay, fantastic. All of these are true, but they are not the full story. So today I hope in a few minutes' time, in 10 minutes' time, I'll be sharing a more three-dimensional Shenzhen to you. Now, the first chapter that I'd like to share with you is Shenzhen is closer than you think. I mean, living here in this quiet town, surrounded by mountains, you might think, Shenzhen, too far away. But actually, Shenzhen is here. So this is the map of China. Shenzhen is here, very much down in the south. It is part of a great area called the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area. And we have just a small population, 86 million. And that's the population just slightly larger than Germany. And an economy just about the size of Italy. You might have heard Hong Kong. Have you heard Hong Kong? Yes, of course. So if you find Hong Kong, you find Shenzhen, you see? They're very much kissing each other. Many of my international friends, when they visit China, they ask me, should I come to Hong Kong first or should I come to Shenzhen directly? And I say, whichever one is more convenient to you or whichever one is cheaper. So you can go to Hong Kong International Airport or you can go to Shenzhen Bao'an International Airport because they're only 38 kilometers away. If you believe me, I'm a nice guy, I'm very sincere, honest, then you can fly directly to Shenzhen. We'll look after you, like we look after Martin, right? Now, once you're inside the city, the transportation is magnificent. It's very convenient. We have, how many metro lines do you have here? How many, seriously? 3?
0.
Oh, 0. Well, he did this. I thought he said 3, but he said 0. We have 17. This is one of our metro station. I call it the eye of Shenzhen because there's a gigantic eye. And every time I go there, it feels like I'm traveling in time. What I'm trying to say is that Shenzhen might be on the other side of the map, but it's actually very close to you. Like how we came to Verbier. It took us 13 hours on a plane, but then once we landed in Zurich, the journey, everything was fantastic. And I felt like time was passing by quickly, that I wasn't really noticing. So, and that brings me to another thing that I want to say, which is a surprise to many first-time Shenzhen visitors. Shenzhen is actually greener than you think. How many parks do you think a city should have? Sorry? Yeah, right, okay. So how many parks do you think Shenzhen has?
1,270.
He's a very smart man. Because usually people started saying 300, 400. We have more than 1,300 parks. And it's a very rare thing in China. So we are literally called the city of 1,000 parks, 千园之城. And that's one of the things I like about living in Shenzhen. I can spend my morning working in the office, and then in the afternoon I can drive to the beach and enjoy the sunset. We very much like sports as well. Shenzhen may be known for being a young city. That was coming from a comment. Who said that? A young city. Someone said, that's a lady at the back. She said, Shenzhen's a young city. How young do you think Shenzhen is? Shenzhen was established as a special economic zone 46 years ago. So many people say Shenzhen is a young city. It's not wrong, but what I want to tell you is that Shenzhen is older than you think. You may picture a city like this. This is a real photo from Qianhai. Everything's new, but if you go to the city center, you'll find a place called Nantou Ancient City. Now that's a place with over 1,700 years of history. So every time when people say to me, oh, Shenzhen's young, Shenzhen has no history, and I say, why don't you come with me to Dapeng, a district in our city, and there is a walled city started from Ming Dynasty. Anyone who's interested in history, in Chinese history, Ming Dynasty, there you go. And so at the time, ever since Ming Dynasty, Shenzhen's been a very, very important fortress defending China, like Verbier, because you have Montfort. Montfort, font means strong, yeah? Am I right? I suppose what I want to say is that Shenzhen has a strong background, Shenzhen has a strong history, and the glass towers, the offices tell one story, and these ancient buildings, they tell another. Together, they form the story of Shenzhen, which is a city reinventing itself all the time. Like Verbier Festival, yeah? We are reinventing ourselves, not just happening in Switzerland, but also happening in Shenzhen. So, from ancient settlement to war cities and to one of the world's youngest metropolises, that's probably because Shenzhen's never stopped reinventing itself, and the future already feels normal here. Not long ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, anyone who's interested in football? Football? Anyone who's a fan of Chinese football team? No? I am. Anyhow, the coach, Milutinovic, took China's football team to the World Cup in 2002. And he came back to Shenzhen, and I took him to some of the places in Shenzhen. He's 86. So if Coach Milutinovic could come to Shenzhen when he's 86, you can. And I actually called a taxi through my app. And Coach Milutinovic, where's the driver? No driver. I said, yes, no driver. No driver. And he couldn't, he was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And he couldn't stop talking about it. And I said, well, you might be surprised, but this is just this is a way that we go home now. We have a lot of innovative things. And we have the most advanced and first-class drones and EVs and mobile phones. But they don't innovate themselves. At the end of the day, it's the people, right? Musical instruments don't play music by themselves. It's the people, the artists behind. And Shenzhen doesn't develop itself. It's because Shenzhen's people and the people behind must have a chapter in my speech. Because If you want me to describe the spirit of Shenzhen, I say Shenzhen's spirit is being inclusive. Because Shenzhen is an immigrant city, and our slogan is, once you arrive, once you've come to the city, you're a Shenzhener. So Martin, you're a Shenzhener now. Then you're a Shenzhener, Simon Shenzhener. You're our representatives in Verbier. So that slogan has attracted people from all over China and increasingly from all over the world to settle in Shenzhen. They also say that because Shenzhen has great food. Who said that to me earlier today, that Shenzhen has great food? Simon, you, yes. He said Shenzhen has great food. And I said, that's right. It's because Shenzhen is an immigrant city. And where people go to a city, they bring their culture, they bring their food. So in Shenzhen, you could have cuisines from the north. For one meal, you could have Vietnamese pho. There you go, Vietnamese pho. And you could also have Thai. You could have Hakka, Teochew. You could have Cantonese. You have all sorts of cuisines. And if a city comforts your stomach, I think the city is worth staying. So, if Shenzhen is a city of the nature, if Shenzhen is a city of innovation, if Shenzhen is older than you, a city shaped by talented people, the question is, why should you go to Shenzhen? Why? Why should you go to Shenzhen? Because it has the Verbier Festival, and it's never been easier. And I say this seriously, it's never been easier to visit Shenzhen. We have the AI travel pass card. So when you arrive at the airport, you could collect an AI travel pass, and it allows you to hop on a bus or get into the metro line, because it has 15 RMB, 15 kwai in there you could just spend. That's our hospitality. It gets you to the city center. And also, if you are transiting in Shenzhen, you have a half-day free trip. Sounds nice, right? And it's not just that. We have lots of people stand by, people who speak many languages, people who can help you with tax funding. And if you go to hotels, there are loads of international hotels, loads of great hotels. I haven't tried to tell you everything about Shenzhen because the event is closing in about 15 minutes' time. And I'd like to end with one final message, an invitation. When I came to Switzerland, when I came to Verbier, it's a dream coming true for me. And I hope after today's conversation, one of you could have a dream going to Shenzhen. And I'd like to see you in Shenzhen. Please come. Thank you. Okay.